Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Wrestling is Her. I'm your host, Raja, and I'm joined by my illustrious co-host, John.
Who didn't know you were about to start the show.
I like to surprise you.
I believe you gave me one of those like Sherry kicks there from the back there because it really took my soul out a little bit when you said it.
Yes.
And yeah, I say Sherry a little bit more than I should. It's Sherry. And
Sherry.
The reason I do that is because of our stupid phone. We've talked about this.
Oh my gosh. We talked about this on an episode that no one would hear.
Oh, was this the lost episode?
Yeah. Yes.
That damn thing's going to come up forever.
Yes. As an aside, when we watch Stardom, we stream from an iPhone
Right.
to the TV
Yes,
so we can
do.
both see it.
Yeah.
And we just airplay it to the TV. It's great. We're like in a little dark room with a big ass TV.
Yeah, big ass system.
And it's fun. But the problem is, when we watch Sherry matches, we can't say Sherry's name.
Yeah, it's not allowed.
Because Siri will come up and be like, this is what I found on the web.
Or I didn't quite get that.
And it'll cut off the stream.
Yeah, it's terrible.
It breaks it like from the TV.
It's terrible. It just annoys us.
So we have to come up with other things to call Sherry during her matches.
And for a few weeks now, we lovingly called her.
We call her Mom.
We call her Mom.
We could just turn off Siri, I think, and it wouldn't cause a problem anymore. We just haven't done it.
That's true.
It's become kind of a meme
It
in our
has.
watch-alongs.
Is there a reason we call her Kevin?
No, there's no particular reason why we call her Kevin. It's just fun.
Because Kevin's just Kevin.
Yes.
Okay, I just didn't know if
Me
it turned.
doesn't trigger your phone.
Yeah, I didn't know if it turned on something else. So, all right.
Oh God, I'd shudder to wonder what that would be.
Yeah, what would that turn on?
So it's been a little while since we had an episode.
Yeah,
not
our
right.
fault.
We were here right before Double or Nothing, and since then, things have happened.
Few things have happened.
A lot of things.
It was not our fault.
It was not.
We have not had sexual relations with that young intern.
We've been plagued with busyness and sickness and all the fun stuff.
Yeah.
But because of that, we now have so much fun stuff to talk about.
Oh, we have a delightful Delandia.
Yes, we do. So let's jump right in.
Jumping.
Starting with old WWE, where we have now seen King and Queen of the Ring.
We have.
From Saudi Arabia, which was... And it was a show.
It was a show.
That
indeed.
happened.
It did happen, and it was a show. We have guaranteed. I even went and looked to make sure that the show did happen. And,
Yes.
And yeah, okay.
So there were 3 women's matches on that show, including the Queen of the Ring final, where Nia Jax defeated Lyra Valkyria to become the Queen of the Ring.
I agree with that one.
Get a title match at SummerSlam against Bayley.
I agree. I mean, okay.
It makes sense, right?
It does. It makes sense.
This is not at all where I saw this tournament going and see lost episode for my prediction of Bianca and Jade like facing off, and then Io and Bianca being in the final. Like, that didn't happen at all.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think they made you want that to happen.
Yeah.
I think that was the trick, right?
Right.
Make you want it.
And then don't give it to you.
Not give it to you. They are the tease fed of all tease
They are.
heads.
But to be fair, we did kind of lament the idea that they would have already put this tag team of Jade and Bianca against each other like so soon after
Dude,
they started teaming.
Everybody was upset about it, but it was kind of like when you're watching your kind of hot, sexy friend undressing and you've got your hand over your face with your
With your fingers parted.
Your fingers kind of parted going, no, don't. What are you doing? What are you doing, Dan?
Right.
Dan, quit it. Did you just work out? My God.
So we would have been like, why are you doing this? But at the same time, it's like Jade Cargill versus
You gotta
Bianca
look at Dan.
Belair.
Yeah.
You gotta watch.
You got to watch Dan.
But as far as Nia Jax goes, there's been a bit of like a bump in the road on the way to SummerSlam,
Yes.
so to speak, because Bayley and Naomi teamed up against Chelsea Green and Piper Niven on SmackDown and lost that match.
They did.
Because Piper pinned Naomi.
Mm-hmm.
So now Piper Niven is being given a championship match at Clash at the Castle on June 15th against Bailey.
Crazy how that worked out.
So if she wins that, if she wins that match, it'll be her versus Nia Jax.
Yeah.
At SummerSlam instead of Bailey versus Nia
Pretty
Jax.
amazing. Really, with all the women that have any kind of accent.
Yeah, like any of the Irish.
Yeah.
Like UK women in general.
Yeah.
Getting matches for Clash of the Gallows. It's crazy that just lined
it's
up
just
like
fun.
that.
It's weird, man. It's just weird.
So along with that, at King and Queen of the Ring, Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill defended their women's tag team titles against Candice LeRae and Indy Hartwell in a nice little match. And now Alba Fire and Isla Dawn have their sights set on the tag team champions.
I'll be damned.
It's just crazy.
It's nuts, I say.
They ended up interfering on Raw to throw the match out between the tag champions.
Right.
And
it was crazy seeing Jade and Bianca on so much fire, though. And, it's really crazy. Just, they are very much a picture-perfect tag team.
They are. They make all the sense in the world. Yeah. It's like they were tailor-made to be a tag team.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
It makes so much sense.
They are. They are just everything. Like, they should never... Even if they break up, they need to get back together.
Like
it needs to be a long-term 20-year thing where they're drinking beers at some reunion,
Absolutely.
Like, I remember back when we first got put together, like that kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly. So the last match we saw at King and Queen of the Ring was Becky Lynch versus Liv Morgan for the WWE Women's Championship.
Liv Morgan, my highlight of this year for WWE so far, so far, has been something that I'm sure you're heading to.
Yes.
And I'll let you head there.
Liv Morgan has been exceptional. She did win this match against Becky Lynch with the...
Becky Lynch is... That's a
the
bad...
Lynch! Oh, God!
Becky Lynch, the baddest bitch.
She won this match with the help of Dom. But he didn't mean to help her.
Right.
He threw a chair in the ring.
Yes.
And Liv Morgan hit a DDT on the chair to pin Becky Lynch and become the new women's champion.
Yeah.
And then when Becky and Liv had their rematch on Raw in a cage, Dom accidentally interfered in Liv's favor once more and allowed her to win that match as well. So now Liv Morgan has it kind of in her head that there's this thing happening between her and Dominic Mysterio in a way where it's like, you've kind of been helping me, but also you belong to Rhea Ripley and I want to take everything from Rhea Ripley. So now you're next on that list.
Yeah. And revenge is kind of in the name.
A little.
But,
yes.
But let me tell you, just from speaking as a guy, right?
Right.
I've been a guy before.
Right. I assume.
And in those times, guys have moments where brains don't exist.
It's just completely gone.
It's really strange. People think that it's a joke.
Right.
Okay? People think, oh, you're thinking with your...
Right.
They think it's a joke. Mm-hmm. So, dude, listen. And this is like a scoop. If somebody wanted a scoop, this is a scoop. And we're not supposed to talk about this. We talk about this at the guy meetings when you become like a man and they send you to this little town hall, whatever town you live in.
Right, to get your man card.
Yeah, you go in there, you get your man card, and they're like, look, you're going to be in a serious relationship at some point, boys. All right? You're going to love that girl. You're going to love that girl. She may even be like world championship material. And at some point in time, though, there's going to be, and they're normally blonde, boys. Let me just tell you, they're normally blonde. I don't know why. I don't write the rules. But they also seem like they're a step up from your pay grade. We don't know why that happens either, but we do suspect it's because we're in a happy relationship and the blonde girl is not, just because she's blonded herself around the town too much, if you know what I'm saying, and not too many respectable boys like you alls. Well, you don't take on girls that's been blonding themselves around the town too much, if you know what I mean, And then they just come one day and they look at you and they have this thing with their eyes where they look at you like you never been looked at before. You thought you'd been seen, but all of a sudden you realized nobody had ever looked at you. until that moment when that blonde, floozy Jezebel of hell is looking you straight in your soul. She sees your soul, son. She sees your soul, and you see her little baby blues, and you just get lost, and all of a sudden, something starts beating, and it ain't your heart. We don't know what it is, but it takes over, and your mind just shuts off, and you feel kind of googly all over, and you do dumbass things, like you stand there while she says things about you, and about your old lady, and you may even let her kiss you. And if that happens, boy, well, you got to remember one thing. That girl you was with, you wasn't just with her because of her eyes. You was with her because she was strong and independent, and she might just whoop your ass. They tell us all that.
Right.
And I should not even have told you guys.
This is an exclusive scoop.
There has not been a wrestling storyline in WWE that has got me. The people can talk bloodline.
Yeah.
Okay? One little thing happened, and there was a live kiss.
Yes.
50 million people!
Yeah. Yeah, that's a lot of people.
Watch this freaking clip. 40 million in like 2 days or whatever, right?
Right.
It's a lot of people.
Yeah.
It's a lot of people.
It's a ridiculous amount of people.
Because they all felt it.
Listen, Liv Morgan is exceptional in this role. She does it so well, and I could feel like Dom's discomfort, but like on different ends of the spectrum. He's uncomfortable because he's with Rhea, but he's also uncomfortable for a very different reason.
Exactly.
And honestly, if Liv Morgan cornered me in the corner of the ring, was like talking to me like that, I mean, I'm a goner too.
What exactly? What do you do?
How do you confront that? I guess you get Finn Balor to come in and save your ass.
Yeah, I mean, Finn Balor is about the only dude out there that I think would have the resistance required.
Yeah, he's a good dude.
I think he's a good dude.
Like, he doesn't cheat on his old lady.
No, I think you wear the right size pants.
Yeah.
Too small, and it's protection pants.
Right. It keeps all the blood to your brain.
Yeah, whenever you see the protection pants,
you know
that they're going to be good in a flood or good against Liv Morgan.
Yes. Well, Dom has done a very good job of resisting her advances so far.
It brings back flashbacks. I'm not even playing flashbacks.
From the war.
Flashbacks from every blonde floozy that has ever tried to flooze on me.
She does it so well.
Oh, my God.
And I can't...
I used to like her. She's doing such a good job as a heel right now.
That you're like...
Terrified.
Stop it.
Terrified.
I feel bad for Dom because it's a difficult situation, and I just feel it happening. I feel him turning on the Judgment Day and going to Liv's side, and it's breaking Rhea's heart, and like I just feel it happening.
Yeah, it's terrible, and we all know.
He says he doesn't want it.
Oh no, he does.
He's helped her win twice now, and he wasn't pulling away from that kiss.
No,
let me tell you.
No, he was not.
And in that corner, I mean, she's half his size, right? Like he could have got out of that corner on his own if he really wanted to.
No, he has no power.
But he definitely had like the I need an adult vibes going on. So his dad came to save him.
With the Becky Lynch pin, listen, I do have to say though on the finish, anytime somebody runs into a cage door and we know what's gonna happen and causes a cage to hit, it's always a nod to Kerry Von Erich, to Michael Hayes, to when the Freebirds turned heel, caused Kerry not to beat Ric Flair for the world title back in World Class in Dallas, Texas.
Right.
Causing the greatest feud of all time.
Right.
Arguably. With the Freebirds and the Von Erichs. Just have to point that out.
As soon as that cage door smacks into someone, it like triggers the flashback.
It's just one of those spots, right? It's just one of those spots. No matter how they do it, it's beautiful.
I do wish Liv had pinned her instead of crawling out of the cage door, but that's a small nitpick in this story so far.
It's a little nitpick. Listen, I dig it. I do. I dig the uncomfortableness. It's fun. It's fun.
It is fun, and it's enjoyable to watch, and it's fun to speculate about which direction it's going to go. Is Dom going to hold strong and stay on Rhea's side, or is he going to crumble? And
it's fun seeing the friends like half going like, "What the hell are you doing?"
The rest of the Judgment Day.
And he has that dumb look on his face,
He's like, "Oh, I don't know what you're talking about.
It's that dumb look, like some incredibly looking girl.
He pulled the, I didn't do anything.
Yeah.
He really hasn't yet, but
Yeah.
he has at the same time.
Oh, gosh.
He's let it happen.
We're great at that.
So we would be remiss if we didn't mention the big ginger elephant in the room about Becky Lynch.
Yes.
Her contract has run out. She's a free agent as we speak at this moment.
And the prevailing wisdom is that she's taking time and she's going to spend it with the girl.
Yeah, she's just taking a little hiatus.
Just be a mom.
Yes, take her own time, eventually make her way back when she's ready. But of course, the rumor birds are going to fly, right?
Yeah.
So
well, of course.
everyone's speculating about where she may potentially show up, and there's nothing conclusive at this time. But
nobody knows anything except Becky said.
Wouldn't it be wild, though, if Becky Lynch went anywhere other than WWE? It's wild to me that she's not currently under a WWE contract.
Well, yeah, I mean, it is weird. It is very weird. You can only imagine the money they offered her, right?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, and whatever's out there.
It's Becky Lynch.
If you wanted to test the waters and see what is happening, I mean, and you got to see what Mercedes has done, right?
Right.
And Mercedes went out there and you know people there.
Yeah.
So you could really change the world again.
Yeah.
And it's
possible. There's opportunities around every corner.
It's so doubtful, though, with the fact that you've got Seth, firmly under contract.
Absolutely. Like, I don't feel personally that she's going anywhere.
No part.
I feel that she's just taking a break, like she said.
Yeah. But with that said, absolutely would love it.
Yeah, it would be cool to see, because it's always fun to see someone in a new environment and like what new things they can bring to their game. I mean,
no house shows, no long tours.
Yeah,
you get to work once a week.
Yeah, we've already seen it with Mercedes, like you said. I mean, Adam Copeland is a great example of what can happen.
Any
when you
mom
have that
in their 30s, right, that could get just as good a contract,
right,
and work with all brand new people, pretty much have creative
dream matches galore.
Yeah, and all this stuff, and still have time to take your baby to the zoo.
Right.
There's a lot to be said for that. I think people that are not parents and also don't have like a decade worth of bumps on their card.
Yeah.
May not understand what somebody would be thinking. Like, why would you walk away from basically Hollywood, right?
Right.
And go make indie films again.
Right. But there is,
but
your priorities shift.
It happens in Hollywood all the time.
Yeah.
You see huge actors go make these films that are probably little or nothing they're getting paid and stuff, because it's the love of what they do.
Right. It's the passion for making art.
Right.
And still, but when your priorities change, when you have a family, a child, like especially as a mom, it kind of changes what's most important to you. And I think all that talk that surrounded Will Ospreay when he got signed kind of maybe put it out there more firmly, like this is a totally different environment.
I didn't even think about that.
So,
I didn't think about the fact that may have had an effect on people in similar situations.
Right.
And
he was very passionate about the reason he chose to go to AEW being the time he's allowed to go back home and to live where he wants to live.
Right.
Because it's possible for him to fly back and forth because he's not constantly over here.
Right.
Making dates.
That's incredible point. That really adds up time-wise.
Yeah. So
anyway, we'll see what happens, right?
Absolutely. But shifting into AEW, Double or Nothing.
Double
on
or
May 26th in Las Vegas at the MGM Grand Arena. We also had 3 women's matches on this show.
So much has happened.
So much has happened. This feels like a lifetime ago already.
It really does.
It's been like a little over a week.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's insane how much has gone down in that time. But on the buy-in for Double or Nothing, we saw a grudge match between Deonna Purrazzo and Thunder Rosa that Deonna Purrazzo won by holding on to the ropes to get the pin on Thunder Rosa.
Very strange.
Which is totally out of character for her. She's always been very like stand up, like I'm going to stretch you and get it done technically in the middle of the ring. Like I've never saw this coming for her character, and it's very interesting. Thunder Rose is clearly not done with her.
Right.
She's a little upset about it still.
I mean, but it's needed.
Yeah.
I mean,
It adds a little flavor.
She needed something.
Yeah.
You know, we've kind of got the virtuoso. You know, we've had that.
Yeah.
And it just wasn't. I don't think it was clicking in the way that it did in another ring, right?
Right.
With another audience. And that happens.
Yeah.
That happens. You've got a lot of great talent. And that's one of the things. Some of the things that could keep someone away from AEW, and I heard someone talking about this and made all the sense in the world as well, because of the damn talent jam.
Yeah.
Right?
The depth of talent.
You can sit there on the men's or women's side and name after name after name of amazing workers.
Absolutely.
So, I mean, the possibility of being lost in a shuffle.
Yeah, it's there.
Is there.
You got to make yourself stand out.
You have to.
And I'm all about heel Deanna. Like anything that gets me more of like the Irish flipping people or the Italian.
Yeah.
I'm still on Becky Lynch, I think.
The
Italian flipping people off.
You're trying to get yourself on Clash at the Castle.
Yeah. I'm going to keep throwing out Ireland and Scotland.
It's my island.
But more of that, and just the fact of the way she wrestles and being able to like hold on to holds too long and like really mess people up with her ability. Like I think that totally lends to her being a heel.
Yeah, I just hope
forward.
she embraces it fully.
Yeah, me too. Like goes full like just cheesing people off.
Yeah, just cyber bitch, man. Just go all the way.
She definitely has the attitude for it.
Yeah.
And I think she could pull it off brilliantly.
Yeah, you wanted to go all pies on though.
Absolutely.
What a fun way.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hey.
Just go full bore.
Yeah, that's good.
Also on the buy-in, we got a special announcement from Tony Khan and Martha Hart.
Yes.
Where they announced that the Owen Hart Foundation Cup Tournament would have special stakes this year.
Yes, ribeyes, porterhouses.
Because the winners are getting title shots at All In in Wembley Stadium, which is ridiculous stakes.
Yes.
Insanely high stakes.
Huge stakes.
It's Wembley. And
the best stakes.
One of you is getting the main event slot because it's for the AEW like World Championship.
Right, exactly.
Whoever wins the men's tournament, like that tournament is going to have to be stacked.
It's stacked.
I'm so excited for it. Like it added another layer.
I mean, it's amazing.
Of meaning.
Amazing, yeah.
And just the sheer talent that are going to be involved.
We just saw it in that casino gauntlet.
Oh God.
One of the greatest matches on Dynamite history, probably. And it was quick and unexpected and chaos, and I love it.
Yeah, me too. So on the women's side, there are people that I could imagine going in there like and being completely unexpected.
One of them's going to be Jamie Hayter.
I hope Jamie's in there.
One of them's going to be Jamie Hayter.
I want Britt Baker to come back because she's a former winner of the tournament, the first ever winner.
Exactly.
Willow Nightingale, Mariah May.
Yeah.
I want all of them.
Mariah is primed.
She is. She's getting there.
We kind of know where she's headed. I mean, listen.
And this could be the perfect avenue to get her to that point if we're not doing Tony Jamie.
Yeah, we're going to get to the thing. I think that we obviously, and we've got Stardom still to talk about, so it's kind of hard to jump back and forth here. Yeah. So something that happens, on Stardom, I think we
lays more groundwork.
We obviously have a match, but we also still have more work here. So we know where that's going.
Yes.
And you're right. There's so many possibilities. I do think we're going to get the return of Britt. I think we're going to get the return of Jamie. I think it's all happening.
I'm going to cry.
In this tournament. I think we're going to get one of them, maybe even this Wednesday.
Oh, that'd be spectacular.
I think that we're at that point right now.
It's time.
Yeah, everything's built. Everything, even with Forbidden Door coming up, we're filling that out. But Forbidden Door in its own way is a build for All In.
Yeah, like we're right on the precipice of the road to All In, like in Texas.
Yeah.
That we're barely a month out from that starting.
Oh,
so
absolutely. And it's just
coming on fast.
Just so much stuff, man. And they're stacking the cards.
Yes, absolutely. So. On the main card for Double or Nothing, Toni Storm defended her AEW Women's World Championship against Serena Deeb by using the Storm Zero, of course. But
amazing match, man.
it was so good.
Yeah.
I was so proud of both of them. Serena turned it up to like the next level, and she worked on Tony's leg the whole match to get that Serenity lock, and it was just
such a great,
beautiful
pro wrestling match. You don't get an opportunity in United States American women's wrestling to be able to see a match given time.
Yeah.
To be able to have like that kind of development.
Yeah, especially considering the other matches on this card.
Yeah, but they gave it its time.
They did.
And they did what they needed to with it, and they got that match, man, going.
Yeah, and there was even a little bit of the Mariah story in here where Mariah nearly threw in the towel for Tony when she was in Serena Deeb's Serenity Lock, like Tony did for Mariah when she faced Serena Deeb.
Yeah.
And then she ended up throwing the towel to Luther, and Tony thought Luther was the one that was going to throw in the towel.
But let me tell you this. Let me warn you this on Tony. Tony Storm is way smarter than what she's playing, right?
Absolutely.
I think she knows what's happening.
I think so too.
And I believe that the last laugh comes with our starlet, because she's not going to. I think she's prepared for this. I really do.
She might have lost her mind, but she's still.
I think she's
not just a bimbo.
I think she sees it coming, man. She's our bimbo.
She is our bimbo, yes. And in a match that has been very much anticipated, we saw Willow Nightingale versus Mercedes Moné for the TBS title. This match made me emotional.
Yeah, me too.
Speaking of tears, like, these girls went out there and put on one of the best women's matches that I've seen, bar none.
Period.
In ever.
Period. And
like the combination of work, story, and just ups and downs, and oh god, it got me. It grabbed me by my heart and just pulled me into that TV screen. It was so good.
Yeah.
They over-delivered from expectations.
Absolutely. I loved everything about it as well. Mm-hmm. I loved the damn near clunkiness at the first.
Yeah, because Mercedes still getting used to. She's trying to get back in the.
I believe that
wrestling mode
was. I believe that was all her.
Yeah,
I believe that was Mercedes working.
Yeah, it's like, oh, my ankle's still a little wishy-washy.
As it went, everything got stronger, but it was chaotic, and it was chaotic enough that you didn't know what was going to happen.
Yeah, like I wasn't sure there.
No,
for most of the match,
you
who was going to win.
What was going to happen. It was crazy, and it was very damn violent.
Yeah, Willow brought out her aggression that she does. She got the barks going and all that, and Mercedes is just so good. And I think she silenced a lot of people with this match. Like, it's been a month since she got here, and people have the whole time been like, oh, she wasn't worth it, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah,
but they hadn't seen her wrestle yet. You have to hold out until you see the match.
Yeah.
And this match was everything that I wanted it to be and more.
Yeah, it was amazing. She's not let us down yet.
No. And she is the new TBS champion, winning the match with the Moneymaker. And
I would give, like Thunder Rosa for me, that match, maybe 3 stars.
Yeah. It was what it was.
I believe the Tony Storm was a solid 4.
Yeah.
I really do.
Yeah, because it was excellently worked.
It was. But it was solid 4 because I don't think it got us to that.
It didn't get to that
holy shit level.
Yeah, that level where we thought maybe for a second Serena could possibly win the title.
But Tony Storm's match, I mean, even that night, I was thinking that had everything in it for me that creates a 5-star match.
Right.
For me.
Yeah. Mercedes versus Willow, definitely. It was one of the best matches that I've seen, which kind of qualifies it. Like, you finish watching it and you're like, I just saw a 5-star match.
Yeah. And a 5-star match doesn't have to have a triple somersault, back axle, slip knock.
It's about the storytelling. And
exactly. The whole
the execution.
Right.
Overall.
The ambiance.
Yeah, like the crowd.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
That crowd.
They were so hot the whole time.
That crowd was amazing for that match.
It was incredible, yes.
Everybody was fired up. Everything went down, and then we had so much shit happen out of it.
Yes, and it's important to note that Willow did get a visual pin on Mercedes in this match, but Chris and Stokely distracted the ref, and they couldn't get the count in time. So there's always coming back to that in the future. I don't think this is the last match we're going to see with these two.
Oh, it can't be.
For sure. But following this match, Chris Statlander turned on Willow Nightingale.
Yeah.
We knew it was coming, but I thought it would happen during the match.
Yeah.
But she was all like, leave her alone, Stokely. She just lost. Now's not the time, blah, 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 carrying up the ramp like a good friend. And then just wham! When she's at her lowest.
It was a violent.
Throwing her friendship bracelet at her.
Yeah.
It was horrible.
It was pretty rough. But Chris.
Oh, man.
Chris is a great freaking heel.
She's
all
so
of a
good.
sudden, she's got incredible promos.
Yeah. She's scary.
Yeah, she's got great promos, but she is scary. She's like got that. She's the girl at the other end of the trailer park that you don't want to fuck with.
Right,
like,
right.
She's the one that's going to make you smoke.
Yes, and carrying into Dynamite, which was amazing. Like, it was nonstop action the whole time and just surprises left and right. It was so good. But Chris on this show, she had a lot to say about no longer being the one that people call when they need help and not being people's bodyguard anymore. And she does so well portraying like that kind of quiet girl who is bigger and stronger. Like, she always takes care of everyone, but she doesn't feel like she wants to do that anymore.
Yeah, I mean,
it's very much Trent Orange Cassidy.
Yeah.
But justified almost. Like, it feels more justified.
I mean, look at this. Chris is always there. So it's like, well, there's reliable Chris. She's going to be there. But here's this new toy. Let's push this new toy.
Right.
Here's this flavor of the week. Let's push this.
Right.
But the whole time you've had this big freaking, just enforcer.
Yeah. And she can like take care of herself and get stuff done that she wants to do.
Yeah.
Because she is so big and strong.
Yeah. She seems like...
She finally realized it.
It seems like one of those people that when they do the heel thing, all of a sudden you're like, oh shit, that's natural for them.
Yeah. And Stokely being with her is the cherry on top of the cake. But now, after the whole... after Dynamite and the whole storyline thing with Trent, I now want to see Chris and Trent versus Orange Cassidy and Willow Nightingale at some point. Like, I just feel like that'd be fun.
It would be. I definitely want to see, I'm interested with Chris and Willow, how violent that match will be.
Oh, God, yeah. Because this fracture started when Willow won the TBS title, when Chris was trying to work her way back to it.
Yeah.
So you got to think that eventually they're going to collide.
And then, like we said, even, that, and then when Julia Hart eventually comes back, I mean, there's so many good women.
There is.
That we have to, have matches with. And that's not even to mention, some of the other, it's almost like two divisions.
Yeah, it is. There's the TBS picture
right.
and the world title picture.
Right.
Very much different storylines going on. It's so fun. But speaking of Julia Hart, Sky Blue made an appearance on Dynamite as well, owning up to being the one that attacked Mercedes Moné during that interview when the lights went out, which I guess is like, it wasn't the obvious choice. It wasn't Julia, but it was Sky, and she attacked Mercedes on Dynamite, and they ended up making a TBS title match for Dynamite the same night. So,
which is really strange for them.
It is, but Mercedes versus Sky was another excellent match. Like, Mercedes I think she got back in the ring. She's like, I want to go again.
Yeah.
Let's do it again.
And this time it was like what it should have been. Like you said, it seemed like there was no rust on this one.
Yeah, no, she's perfectly, she's ready to go now. She's got a taste of blood and she's ready for more.
I'm hoping we have more of these type matches. It wasn't a squash match, but I'm hoping we have more of these 10-minute competitive, Mercedes matches to keep her going.
Yeah, like keep her all loose and ready to get in there.
I'm a firm believer that you actually get injured less when you work more.
Could you imagine sitting at a show and then just all of a sudden finding out you're going to get to see Mercedes Moné wrestle?
Yes.
Like the same night? That would be so cool. But after this match, on the road to Forbidden Door, Stephanie Vaquer came out. Like,
Yes.
there wasn't just a video. She was in the building.
Yeah.
She came out on stage and held up that NJPW Strong title that got away from Mercedes.
What a story.
Holy moly.
What a story. That's her belt.
Yeah, it was tailor-made
Yeah.
for Mercedes Moné.
Absolutely.
And that Forbidden Door match, oh my God. Like,
I'm excited, man, because we've seen the thing with Stephanie. This is going to be a fight, man. Because
violence.
every one of Stephanie's defenses, the thing about her, we've liked her since the first time we ever laid eyes on her.
Yeah.
And
she's got that ambiance about her.
absolutely. When she got that belt, though, this is funny. A lot of times champions build people, in a match. We talk about this every time with her.
Yeah.
But a lot of times, a champion, you look at an old Ric Flair match, it take like George South and go 30 minutes. He always would make it where this local guy, your local hero, may be able to win this and would have won this if that damn ref hadn't done this, or if they hadn't seen this, or if the time hadn't ran out, our guy would have won.
Right.
Well, Stephanie obviously never watched any of that.
She's a very unique.
Stephanie was a big fan of the Road Warriors.
Yeah, she has a very unique way of going about her matches that include beating the absolute crap out of anyone that tries to beat her.
Yeah, she is. She beats the piss out of girls.
She enjoys it too, you can tell.
Cuts them off. They're like, Hope Spot. You
want to get your shit in?
How dare you?
I'm the champion. Like, she's dripping in gold, okay, for a reason.
Yeah.
But do we see Mercedes like 2-belt Jones already? This early?
I mean,
I do. I wouldn't put it past
I
it.
could see Unified Belt Jones.
Ooh, like taking that strong belt and just morphing it into the TBS title.
And having like a women's continental come
Make the belt purple though, because it's nice.
But yeah.
A women's continental would be fun.
It would.
That'd be a fun
No
tournament.
interference.
Absolutely.
Which is one of the big things in the women's matches that I don't like.
Yeah, there's a lot of ringside people during women's matches. Like, because you know how girls are. It's like, I gotta go to the bathroom. Can you come with me?
Right,
like,
right.
That's how girls are
Yeah.
about everything.
No,
I need to take your second with you to the ring.
It was just something to think about. I mean, if we had a Continental Classic later in the year with no interference, with, mano a mano, let the best woman win.
Yeah.
Be interesting.
And as you can see with the Stardom 5-star, like a women's round robin tournament is a lot of fun.
That's amazing.
It could run alongside the men's version.
It could, yeah.
Like 4 weeks of just singles matches, fucking bangers all the time.
Absolutely.
So let's move over into Japanese territory. We're just going to briefly mention the double hitter at Shinkiba First Ring on May 26th that Marigold held as their second 2 shows in their current run. They've had a couple more so far, but they're on-demand shows, so they won't be out to the public until later this week. And then they are having their big Korakuen Hall show on the 11th, which will be live. And they've built some fun matches for that. But on these shows, Julia was there. She has made it a point of being at all of the shows, even though she can't wrestle. She had surgery.
She's kind of a host.
On her wrist.
She sits beside the Hat Boy.
Yes, and it was successful surgery. So she should be healing up perfectly fine. I think she wants to heal up in time for the pay-per-view later this summer. We'll see if that happens.
Yeah.
Her match versus Sari could still happen. You never know. But on these shows, in the morning show, we saw Koki Amurai get a win over Naoi Ishikawa.
Mm-hmm.
Mila Grace got a win over Zeta Steel.
Yes.
Bozilla took the win in a 3-way over Victoria Yuzuki and Utami Hayashishita.
Which was I don't think that would have happened had the first event not have happened the way it did.
Absolutely. Like, I think that first event made Bozilla into what she is today.
Absolutely.
Miku Aono and Natsumi Shozuki got a win over Misa Matsui and Chiaki.
Mm-hmm.
And in the main event of that show, Nagisa Nozaki and Sari got a win over Mai Sakurai and Mirai. So that was a fun show. On the nighttime show, we saw Misa Matsui defeat Naoi Ishikawa, and then Naoi Ishikawa lose her marbles over the fact that she's now lost 3 matches.
Oh, absolutely.
To actress girls wrestlers.
Yeah, which is it's a fun story.
It is. Like, she was one of the main 7. She was supposed to come in here and start, getting wins right off the bat
Right.
over these non-wrestlers or whatever. Like,
I love it.
She's so mad. Mai Sakurai defeated Myla Grace. Miku Aono got another win over Zeta Steel with her Styles Clash. She has been on fire.
She has, yeah.
She's being pushed straight to the
Absolutely,
top for good reason. Bozilla and Nagisa Nozaki got a win over the team of Chiaki and Mirai, which is just a fun team in
absolutely.
general. And then in the main event, Koki Amarai and Utami Hayashishita got a win over Natsumi Shizuki and Victoria Yuzuki.
Yeah, it was good stuff.
It was a fun doubleheader, like full day of Marigold.
It was.
For the
I liked
fans.
the second show a lot better than the first show.
Yes, the nighttime show definitely delivered like
A whole
a
way
lot
through.
more
Yeah,
than the first.
It wasn't as much of an effort. It was.
Yeah.
It was really good, and the crowd was hotter, and
Yes, and as we see coming out of these shows, like Bozilla's top of the game. She is going to be something for sure.
absolutely,
And I
she
love
knows
it. I think Miku Aono is probably like set up to go straight for their Superfly weight title or whatever. And they've started building things like Utami asking for a passion injection match in Karakuen Hall and all that stuff. They're starting to build their storylines.
Yeah, and working around things that happen.
Yes, coming up to their first pay-per-view.
Yeah, so I mean, all the best wishes.
Absolutely.
It's they're starting to develop a little thing. You got to give them time to develop.
Yes.
So,
and it'll be easier to give a fully rounded opinion after they finish their grand opening wars and then their second tour heading into their pay-per-view. Once we get to that point, I think we're really going to see what Marigold is made of.
I think a lot of people are jumping the gun on the deep reviews into things because right now it's letting it run, letting it develop.
Yeah, they literally started from zero.
Yeah.
They have no stories yet. Like, you got to let them.
That's why we don't really want to rate things yet.
Get
we don't
stuff.
want to just kind of let things go. I think the pay-per-view will be the first thing we rate.
Yeah, absolutely. The pay-per-view will tell a lot, I think, of how their future is looking.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Because it gives them a couple months to really get in the groove, build stories, build up to huge matches for their very first pay-per-view. And then how the pay-per-view looks and feels and how the matches go.
We're going to give it the full treatment.
Absolutely.
The lead-in pre-show thing it deserves its own, going over, deep diving.
Absolutely.
The whole 9 yards.
Yes. So, moving over to Stardom, we've seen quite a few shows, so we're going to run right through
We are
these.
going to run.
Aside from the main Stardom shows, we got to see Saya Kamatani and Rana Yagami grab wins in the Catch the Wave tournament over in Pro Wrestling Wave.
And definitely go out of your way to watch those.
Yeah, Rana Yagami versus Koto Mangetsu is like such a fun match.
It really is. It really good stuff.
And then over in Diana, Aya Sakura had a match against Nanami, who we've seen popping up in Stardom.
Not as good of a match. It was kind of blind leading the blind.
Yeah, a little bit.
Type of thing is one of those where you're like, well, there's another move.
Yes, some girls trying to get some time in the ring.
Yeah, it never really got anywhere, in my opinion.
All right, so let's go through these results, and we will hit the major highlights as we go. On May 25th in Kofu, Lady C defeated Sayaka Kurara. Saya Ida, Hanan, and Koguma took a loss to Hanako Wakasukiyama and Xena. Saki Kashima and Shiri defeated Mei Sara and Suzu Suzuki, and Yuna Mizumori and Natsupoi. Rana Yagami, Ami Sori, and Konami defeated Aya Sakura, Sariano, and Tam Nakano. Tekla, Momo Watanabe, and Natsuko Tora defeated Miyu Amasaki, Azumi, and Saya Kamatani. And in the main event, Maika, Mina Shirakawa, and Starlight Kid defeated Momo Kogo, Hazuki, and Mayu Iwatani. So it was a good show.
Yes.
The highlight of this show is seeing Starlight Kid continue her little tour of teaming with
absolutely.
all the factions before she makes her decision.
Absolutely, lots of fun there.
So seeing her with EXV was really fun. Like her and Mina are a lot of fun together.
Yeah, and there's a lot of the thing with Xena getting a win there. That's building.
Yes, Xena is definitely on the run to something.
Absolutely.
On May 26th, the next night in Kyoto, in the most beautiful building, in the opening match, Konami defeated Hanako. Tekla defeated Aya Sakura. And then Tekla's been on a little bit of a run of attacking people, especially pretty girls like Aya Sakura.
Right.
And she's started using her belt now to beat people.
which
not cool.
drew the ire of Tam.
Oh, yeah. Tam's like, excuse me, that's my child.
Who came out quickly. And, so that's probably heading somewhere. I mean, it's the same thing, really, of Konami, though. Konami and Sherry have been on this...
on a warpath?
on a warpath of young girl beatings.
Absolutely. Rana Yagami, Amisori, and Sherry defeated Lady C, Suzu Suzuki, and Azumi. Mina Shirakawa, teaming with Starlight Kid and doing the Club Venus stance, defeated Momokogo and Hanan, and Sayaka Kurara and Tam Nakano.
It was amazing.
It was so good. Mina and Starlight is so fun. Like, Mina teaming with any of those, like, silly high-speed girls, it's just good fun.
It is.
She's a great partner to anyone, I think.
It seems that way.
In a three-way, Mei Seira defeated Saya Ida and Saki Kashima.
Mm-hmm.
Waka Tsukiyama, Xena, and Maika defeated Yuna Mizumori, Natsupoi, and Sariano, and Koguma, Hazuki, and Mayu Iwatani. Another win for Xena, pinning Natsupoi.
Yeah, which is huge.
Which feels enormous.
Yeah.
And then in the main event, Saya Kamatani and Miyu Amasaki defeated Natsuko Tora and Momo Watanabe.
Yeah, and it was like the hometown girl thing.
Yeah,
so.
Absolutely. Because you got Miyu there.
Right.
In the main event in Kyoto. A couple days later, on May 28th in Osaka, Konami and Shiri defeated Sayaka Kurara and Aya Sakura, another example of them beating the tar out of people.
Out of the young girls.
And Konami using that armbar that she so loves
to use
to finish matches.
It seems like.
Koguma defeated Rana Yagami and Waka Tsukiyama in a triple threat.
And Rana didn't get to be a bear.
No. Rana's not allowed to do the Kuma party.
One of the best things you're going to see is in any of these matches that has Rana and Koguma.
Oh, God.
Koguma does her thing at the first. Kuma, 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 Kuma. And Rana wants to do it desperately.
Oh, God. It was so funny the first time it happened because it's about to happen. There's silence. She's got her hands in the air, ready to put on her head. And all of a sudden you hear, Rana. And then Sherry teasing her in Japanese, basically being like, what do you think you're doing?
Yeah.
Don't do that. And Rana has to fight against the urge to be a bear.
Yeah.
I think she's going to be a bear eventually.
It's building.
It's so funny.
It is building, but even this last time...
Rana looked around. She's like, oh, she's not here.
She's not there.
And then Sherry walks out halfway through the Kuma party.
Rana!
She's so good.
No, no. Yeah.
It's so great. Her tone is amazing. And her face she makes.
Oh, yeah.
It's like a mom that's like... about to ground you for the rest of the summer.
I'm afraid we made her mom.
we did. We manifested it. Starlight Kid, Saki Kashima, and Amisori, this is Starlight Kid teaming with God's Eye for the first time, defeated Momokogo, Hazuki, and Mayu Iwatani. Poor Momokogo taking the loss on that one.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yuna Mizumori, Natsupoi, Sariano, and Tam Nakano defeated Miyu Amasaki, Lady C, Azumi, and Saya Kamatani. Saya Ida and Hanan defeated Suzu Suzuki and Mei Seira. We got a roll-up from Saya Ida on Suzu Suzuki, which was very poignant because this match was Suzu's final match for a while.
Right.
Because she has announced that she's taking a little time off, 4 to 8 weeks, to take care of some nagging injuries.
Yep.
And it seemed like Mei and Suzu, they felt very emotional about this.
It didn't seem like the team.
It didn't. They weren't wearing their Crazy Star gear.
No.
It was very much.
It was very
saying a little goodbye, like a see you later to Suzu Suzuki.
And we wish her a very speedy recovery in whatever she's dealing with.
Yes, and it was cool that Saya got the win because Crazy Star, our former Goddess of Stardom tag team champions. So following this match, Koguma and Hazuki, the current Goddess of Stardom champions, came out to challenge Wingori.
Yes.
And it seems like from how they're talking about it, that's going to be for the Goddess of Stardom titles, which is huge for Wing Glory.
It is. It's big.
Hanan and Saida have been amazing New Blood tag team champions. All of their matches for those belts have been top tier.
Absolutely.
So I can't wait to see what FWC versus Wing Glory is going to be like. It's going to be
great. The tag division in Stardom just came out of nowhere.
Holy crap, the tag division lately.
And just tag matches in general. It's like we get excited. And all their multi-matches are just unreal.
Yeah, but recently the basic 2-on-2 tag matches have been so good.
So good.
Like next level. Those Goddess belts are prime real estate in Stardom right now, I think.
Yeah, good stuff.
And then in the main event, Fukigen Death, Tekla, Momo Watanabe, and Natsuko Tora defeated Hanako, Xena, Mina Shirakawa, and Maika, which was sort of a little prelude to the Artist Stardom Championship match that Oedo Tai earned in the Gauntlet.
Lots of story, though.
Absolutely. And it was...
Yeah.
It was crazy. It was one of those matches,
There's something been going on, man.
There has been. Something's cooking. So a couple nights later, on May 31st in Sendai, Hanako defeated Rion in the first match. Little win for Hanako there. Momokogo, Saya Ida, and Koguma defeated Rana Yagami, Saki Kashima, and Ami Sori. Waka Tsukiyama, Xena, and Mina Shirakawa defeated Miyu Amasaki, Lady C, and Azumi. Another win for Xena.
Racking them up.
Absolutely. Mei Seira, Starlight Kid, and Shuri defeated Aya Sakura, Sayaka Kurara, and Yuna Mizumori. And this team of Mei Seira, Starlight Kid, and Shuri makes all the sense in the world.
It did. And Sherry looked so damn happy.
Yeah.
Like she wanted them girls,
like
man.
She was having the time of her life for once, like in a long time.
She really wants them both in God's eye. Like,
it was so fun. I don't feel Starlight Kid makes a lot of sense in God's eye.
No.
Like of all the factions she's teamed with, that one seemed a little awkward, but this team with Shuri and Mei Seira was amazing.
Yeah, it was.
Rina, Momo Watanabe, and Natsuko Tora defeated Hina, Saya Kamitani, and Maika when Hina took the Swanton Bomb. But after this match, Momo Watanabe whispered something to Saya Kamitani, and this is following, of course, the epic revelation that Saya Kamitani wants Momo Watanabe back in Queen's Quest.
Right.
What?
Yeah.
Why would she invite her back?
Yeah, out of all people. And when that happened... it was crazy because of Azumi's face.
Oh, she seems totally not on board.
Yeah, she was outside the ring still, and it was kind of shot on her.
Yeah, because, Momo Watanabe betrayed them.
Yeah. And Azumi, it's kind of like who made you boss to Saya.
Right. It's like, why are you making these decisions without
she didn't say it with her words,
talking to the rest of the group? And we've seen in the past Momo Watanabe, like in the cage match when she extended the olive branch to Saya Kamitani as an opportunity to knock Utami off the cage and kind of win the match for Oedo Tai so that Utami had to leave Queen's Quest, but she didn't take it at that time. But it seems like there's sort of been this understanding between Momo and Saya, and I think Saya can see a little unrest in Momo Watanabe in her current position in Oedo Tai.
Or it's the other way around. Momo sees some unrest in Saya Kamitani.
There's always that possibility.
Because I'm telling you, man, I think Saya, can you imagine?
I honestly cannot. She seems so dedicated.
She's such a great baby
to
face.
Queen's Quest and to upholding Utami's vision
and justice.
And making sure Queen's Quest survives. And I guess bringing Momo Watanabe back is her idea of the best way to make Queen's Quest strong again.
Yeah.
Which is understandable.
It is.
It's Momo Watanabe. She is one of the pillars of Queen's Quest.
Yeah, absolutely.
So in the main event of this Sendai show, we saw Natsupoi, Sariano, and Tam Nakano defeat Hanan, Hazuki, and Mayu Iwatani. And this match was significant because Sariano ended up surrounded by people who want her white belt. Like, it's ridiculous, the people who are coming after her right now. We had Hazuki, Hanan, and Natsupoi all in the ring. That doesn't even, touch Starlight Kid, also wanting a match. But of all the contenders that want that belt, a surprising one made a little appearance at this match. Mika Iwata from Sendai Girls decided to come out and challenge Sariano for the Wonder of Stardom Championship, which is a match that has been signed for Stardom the Contender later in June.
Yeah, so very exciting on that.
She's like standing there in the ring with all these Stardom girls around her wanting the white belt, and she's like, hey, over there.
Yeah, no, I mean, very exciting, and I love that it happened in Sendai.
Yes, and Sariano has expressed that she's willing to go through all these people one by one and pick them all off for her belt.
Which, if she does that, it'll be the most legendary white belt run ever.
Absolutely. And you got to imagine that Natsupoi is going to be at the end of that road. Like, I feel like hers is going to keep getting pushed off.
She keeps getting pushed off until she gets pissed off.
Yes. And formerly, it seemed that Xena was in that lineup as well, but then Korakuen Hall happened.
Yep. So Korakuen Hall happened.
On June 2nd.
Yes.
We saw Saki Kashima get the win over Rion and Mei Sarah in a match that was 100% Saki Kashima playing mind games the entire time.
The entire time.
If she put that much effort into actually wrestling, she'd probably get even more wins.
Yeah.
But she stole the win here off Mei Sarah to win the match.
Right.
She came out with a laminated printout of the high-speed title.
Dude, we don't deserve to live in the same world as Saki Kashima.
She's so funny.
She is.
I love her so much. She was sporting the black on this show with the blonde hair.
She looked very Yoeda Tai throwback.
She did. And she wasn't happy when Starlight Kid teamed with him because of the Oedo Tai thing that happened to her.
Yeah, she still remembered.
They could relate on a level of being betrayed by Oedo Tai, but Starlight Kid was part of that beatdown when she left. So
the North remembers.
Rana Yagami and Ami Sourei defeated Fukigen Death and Rina.
Mm-hmm.
Rana Yagami seems a little keen on that Future of Stardom title that Rina's holding.
It's damn shame though, because Rena will whip that ass.
Yeah, absolutely. In a Stars Showdown match, Hazuki, Koguma, and Mayu Iwatani defeated Momokogo, Saya Ida, and Hanan. So this was a little like preview of the tag team match that they challenged
and
the new blood tag team titles for.
Momokogo took a lot of heat in this match.
Yeah.
But
poor girl.
Hazuki, Jesus Christ.
Hazuki was on, like, she was mad tonight, I think.
She was on another level.
She won the match using just a nasty thrust kick to Momo's face.
Yeah.
You got to do what you got to do, even if they're in your faction.
Absolutely. Wasn't the nastiest thing we've seen all night.
They all still posed together before the match. They're all cool. They're having fun.
Yeah, we saw nasty.
Yes, because in the next match, we saw Konami and Shiri defeat Hanako and Waka Tsukiyama in a match that felt kind of uncomfortable to watch.
Yeah.
I don't know if Konami legitimately has a problem with Waka Tsukiyama.
I think Waka stole her freaking lunch money or
something. Every time they're in the ring together, it's just brutal.
A couple of weeks ago, there was an armbar that seemed to last a little bit too long.
Yeah.
And in this one, it, like you said, it was brutality. I mean, there was some nasty kicks and stomps to the face.
Absolutely.
Waka got hard way on her cheek.
Yeah, it was nasty looking.
Which is difficult.
She kept going, though. She's a trooper.
She kept going. If anything, it kind of a little bit of a passion injection herself.
Yeah.
Because she got more fired up.
Very much those vibes.
And, it did its job, though, because we were pulling for Waka heavily.
Yes, we were. We were like, oh, go get it.
After the assault.
It was nasty. Like, I don't know. I guess this is just God's eye now.
Yeah.
This is just what it's going to be now.
That's fine with me, though.
Yeah, if Sherry keeps kicking butt like this.
Yeah.
Next, we saw Starlight Kid teaming with Queen's Quest in a 12-man match where Starlight Kid, Hina, Miyu Amasaki, Lady C, Azumi, and Saya Kamatani defeated Aya Sakura, Sayaka Kurawa, Yuna Mizumori, Natsupoi, Sari Ano, and Tam Nakano, the full strength of Cosmic Angels.
Oh, just seeing them together.
All 6 members of Cosmic
Seeing
Angels.
Cosmic Angels at full strength is just amazing. They're such a cool team.
They're so good.
So freaking talented.
Probably the strongest faction in Stardom right now.
Absolutely.
Especially with Sariano on their
No
team.
issues, no problems. They're strong and they look amazing.
They're all happy-go-lucky, and the only thing that's going on with them is that they really want Starlight Kid to join them. There was a part in the middle of this match where Tam and Starlight had a little cute-off in the middle of the ring, and Tam's like, are you going to join Cosmic Angels?
Yeah.
She can't help herself.
But, SLK teamed great with Azumi.
Oh, man. They make such a good tag team.
it just even like they work so well together. And we were discussing during the
natural.
match, even if they were a tag team, you could still call them eternal foes.
Absolutely. And we want to see them take on Natsupoi and Sayano.
Yeah,
like,
Jesus Christ.
dream match.
Yeah.
But the Queen's Quest faction won this match with Starlight's fisherman suplex into Azumi's double stomp on poor Sayaka Kurara.
Yeah. But Sayaka, dude, she's
so good.
She
had
is so good.
a moment during this match where the crowd was chanting Kurara when she's in there with Natsupoi, which is insane.
They were totally chanting it because she looked amazing. That girl has got just better at better. It reminds me of watching Hanako.
Yeah.
You know, when we watched Hanako go from the slumped over, scared to death to becoming the beast that she is now.
Yeah.
Seeing Kurara doing what she's doing, Jesus Christ, man, she's getting really good. She's
amazing. She's got so much potential, and I think eventually she's going to be like the next Tam Nakano of Stardom. Like, she's so good.
She really is.
In the main event, which I feel like that last match should have been the main event. That's like a theme for the Karakanal shows.
Yeah.
But we saw Xena, Mina Shirakawa, and Maika defend their Artist of Stardom championships against Tekla, Momo Watanabe, and Natsuko Tora, which was a little surprising.
It was.
To me, because I thought Oedo Tai had it in the bag.
Well, we did think that, but it makes a lot of sense with the Momo stuff up in the air.
Yeah.
You know, Oedo Tai's got a little bit of chaos happening still.
They're all a little uneven.
And on the other side, we've been building this thing with Xena that we didn't even realize we were building.
Yes, and Xena got the win again in this match. Natsuko Tora ended up accidentally misting Momo Watanabe, which I think is just another thing to sow the seeds of dissension in Oedo Tai. But after the win, there was a lot of like weirdness with the EXV side of this match. And after the match, we found out why, because Xena challenged Maika for the World of Stardom Championship.
Yeah.
She said, "I'm your next challenger," because Maika's been complaining that nobody wants the red belt.
And Mina's playing like, you know, peacekeeper and all this stuff.
Yeah, she's like, whoa. Okay, you can challenge each other, but let's keep it civil in here and have fun. But that wasn't all we saw at the end of this show.
What was the other thing we saw?
We saw a beautiful video package from one timeless Toni Storm and her protege/child, Mariah May, where she addressed Mina Shirakawa in a very friendly manner. She was like, any friend of Mariah is a friend of mine, but I want to see what you're made of and make sure you're worthy of being around my child. So let's have a match at Forbidden Door.
Yeah, and she said, I'm a legend of Stardom. And
yeah, she is.
Yeah, so it's amazing. We knew it was coming.
Yeah.
We were there live when they started building it.
Yeah, when Toni came out at Stardom American Dream for the first time, facing off with Mina Shirakawa. Mina's constant appearances in AEW since then. Mariah being tugged between the two of them. I don't think this match is going to be as friendly as Toni thinks it is.
No.
Mina's address after that she gave in stunningly good English, talked about how she was Mariah's first and best partner, and she's her best friend, and she's going to show Toni Storm who, like, the real Stardom legend is.
Well, you know, Mina's got a degree in English, and I think that it's showing. Like, she's finally getting to use it.
Absolutely. She's amazing, and the American crowd loves her, and everyone's been vying for this match. I think Mariah May is going to come in very heavily here because it feels very much like you're going to have to choose. Like, I don't think Toni and Mina are going to end up in the same group at any point.
No.
They're very different people.
This one's going to be something. This one's going to be a hell of a match, number one.
Yes. I am so pumped to see this match.
Just a hell of a match, you know, because it's going to they both have showmanship. Mm-hmm. But they also both have incredible skills. Yeah,
so, they're both seasoned.
And Toni knows how to work Stardom.
Yeah, so that gives us for Forbidden Door, our women's matches are Mercedes Moné versus Stephanie Vicker and Toni Storm versus Mina Shirakawa, which is crazy. And I think there's speculation that Azumi may make her own appearance at Forbidden Door, which I totally hope is true.
Me too.
But on the Stardom side, for Stardom the Conversion on June 22nd at the Yoyogi National Stadium, we have 2 matches signed now. The Wonder of Stardom Championship match between Saori Yano and Mika Iwata, and the World of Stardom Championship match where Maika will take on Xena.
Yeah. amazing. Fun stuff coming up. And like we said, it's just now feels like it's kicking in gear. Everything does.
Absolutely.
Lots of building going on for a lot of big shows all summer long, man.
And another thing I just want to point out, on June 15th, Starlight Kid takes on Azumi at All Together.
Yes.
Which has become an even bigger thing because of Starlight Kid's teasing about maybe I should take off my mask and join Cosmic Angels. Maybe I should stop being Starlight Kid. I don't know, but Azumi's like offended by that notion. She's like, if you're gonna do it, let me do it.
Yeah, she's like, I'm going to do it since you're talking about it.
That match is like, you gotta watch it live.
Oh,
what if it happens?
Yeah. Well,
I don't see a world where Starlight Kid is not wearing the mask.
I just really hope that she goes back and watches Rey Mysterio take the mask off in WCW's Dying Days and sees what that became.
Yeah, like, it's not worth it.
No.
She's Starlight Kid because she's Starlight Kid. Like, you can't be Starlight Kid without the mask,
No, that's
right?
why in Mexico, when they take the mask off, they're done.
Yeah.
I mean, it's very rarely. It does happen where some people have a career. Mm-hmm. It doesn't happen often.
No. But
And I just think that she's, as Starlight Kid, we talked about this. With her size, she's small. She's a high-speed wrestler.
yes.
But as Starlight Kid, we believe that she can beat any giant.
Yeah, because she's bigger than all that.
The character is bigger.
Yeah.
The character is I'll say heavyweight just because, but she's a heavyweight contender. She's a champion.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter what style she fights. We believe she can win because that's Starlight.
She's like a superhero.
Yeah. And I'm afraid if you make her normal, not saying she doesn't have the skills and can't, she obviously absolutely can,
Right.
but it's just
It takes something away.
it's personal preference.
Yeah, absolutely. So she's officially teamed with all the factions, and she's yet to make her decision of who she's going to end up teaming with. We might have to wait until the pay-per-view to see
Maybe.
that. There's another pay-per-view between now and then that's just like a regular house show pay-per-view.
Which
So
will probably have just some build to it.
yeah, so we'll see where she ends up. There's a case can be made for her in any faction, I think. She kind of fits anywhere, but
But at least,
we'll
hey,
see.
the story's about her right now, so that's important.
Exactly. So that's all we have for you this time on Wrestling Is Her. It's been a very enjoyable ride the last couple of weeks. Like, there's been some really great stuff
And
that's
hopefully
gone on.
we don't have to go this long again. Dang it.
I know. We gotta stop happening, world.
Yeah.
Things need to stop happening so we can just record as often as
Damn
possible.
sunspots.
But that's all for this time. Thank you so much for listening. Make sure you're following us at Wrestling Is Her on X and Facebook and Instagram and all that good stuff. We love to live tweet, especially during Stardom shows in the middle of the night. So if that's your bag, come see us. It's fun. It's good fun.
It's a good time.
But I'm your host, Raja, and he's John. We will see you next time on Wrestling Is Her. Bye.
Bye.